Well, apparently another person the WWE is not going to be able to keep a hold of is Kevin Owens. His contract is now up earlier than anyone, apparently, than even he thought. How is this possible? He didn't know when his contract was up. They didn't know when his contract was up. It's up at the end of the year, not another year from now. He said in 2018 he signed a 5-year deal. Now they're saying, I heard someone say that some contracts were restructured due to the pandemic. And they're just now figuring out, I guess he's going to be up by December or January thereabouts. What the fuck is going on here?
Has there ever been a point like this? Well, the answer is no. There's never been a point like this in WWE history where there's been so many issues with contracts. You know, the Jeff Jarrett issue that everyone always talks about, where he held up the company for money. That was a rare issue. I mean, it didn't happen all the time where a guy's contract came up and no one was prepared for it. There hasn't been a situation like that, but Adam Cole's contract came up earlier than they thought. Now Kevin Owens, or we should start calling him Kevin Steen again. I have a feeling I'll put money on this in January or February. Kill Steen Kill will be the #1 selling t-shirt at Pro Wrestling Tees. But they're having some weird issues over there they've never had before.
And it's not even like it's with people totally unrelated to the executive vice presidents of the opposing company. These are some of their best friends. For fuck's sake, people they have history with. It's a pipeline. I'm not saying that they should immediately go in and interact on the air. I'm saying that the people they have history with, as far as being friends, being close, doing business, they're talking to each other. Those are the people that they're not keeping an eye on their contracts. It's almost a rib. And, Canyon Seaman got inseminated elsewhere. And I wonder who else are they going to blame for this? I remember when a rare contract issue would come up, and we've talked about some of them. Savage was able to get away because Vince wasn't as protective of the announcers back then, and he thought that, everything was cool, and Randy wasn't wrestling, and blah, blah, blah. And the thing with Rude, well, he was kind of a manager, and he wasn't, because of the Lloyds of London thing, he wasn't able to wrestle, so he kind of escaped attention. And you mentioned, with Jeff Jarrett, that was, a situation where they just thought he was going to do business and lose on worldwide pay-per-view to a girl. But this amount of people and this lack of preparedness, when the first one happened earlier this year, the old Vince McMahon again would have said, I want to know, I've seen him do this. Send me a list. He'd just call the office. He was always getting on the phone to call somebody at the office. Send me a list. I want to know when every talent's contract is up right now. Of course, now they'd have to send him 200 and something names. Before it was like 40, but he'd ask for it and he'd get it. And I don't know what the fuck's going on now. But yeah, I mean, look at what they just had Kevin Steen. We laughed about this before we heard about the contract thing. He got left laying by a YouTube fuck and a mid-card guy the other day. I can't even remember one of the Paul brothers and who else was in the ring with him.
It was Logan Paul, and I don't remember either.
Yeah, one of the wrestlers, one of the boys. I don't remember who the fuck it was. He was that important. So, and that's what I was saying. Jesus Christ, he didn't like the way he was being used in Ring of Honor. What's he doing now? So, again, they're doing everything but packing these guys' bags and helping them put them in the car on the way over to cross the street to the other network. So, I don't know how to fucking comment on this at this point.
Can I ask you a question or two?
Sure.
No doubt, right? He's going to sign with AEW.
Well, my God. The only thing that would make Kevin Steen more difficult to deal with and more hard to understand is if he actually had the opportunity to go to AEW now and he didn't do it and instead re-signed with the WWF. No, there can't be any doubt that a guy like Steen that always wanted to do exactly what he wanted to do would want to go to a company where he will be allowed to do almost everything he wants to do.
So you got to figure they're going to lose Generico too, or they're going to lose Sami Zayn also.
Well, now I just saw when I was doing my internet research for the program that there's a report that Sami Zayn's contract is not up in the imminent future or this fall or winter, however they phrased it. So that, I mean, obviously, if it was, I would think that'd be a safe bet also, but he may be stuck for a while. He may not have his pipeline out of Devil's Island just yet.
But as soon as Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen shows up in AEW, the countdown begins as far as the fans are concerned. They're going to be watching Sami Zayn on WWE TV, expecting him to show up there at any time, or as soon as his contract is up. They're going to be watching the countdown.
And I'm just wondering, would he be crazy enough, now that they've seen what he can do when he took the mask off and found the power of speech and has become a lot more all-around entertaining than El Generico, the ginger Canadian luchador that was a friend to all the children? Do you think he'll put the fucking gimmick back on? Or
no way. No. For special occasions. I'm sure there'll be a special match where all of a sudden El Generico comes back. How about a children's
birthday party or bar mitzvah? That's the only place that fucking El Generico gimmick should ever be seen again.
Well, not my bar mitzvah.
A special occasion. No, you had pros for your bar mitzvah. But I bet you they're so enamored of everything that they've ever done, all of them, the elite, Steen and Generico, they're so enamored of everything they've ever done. Instead of moving forward, I wouldn't put it past them to go right back to doing the same thing.
At some point, do you start calling AEW the Ring of Honor All-Star team?
I think you almost, well, no, because let's face it, the people that he's appointed as, or anointed, either one as EVPs of the company, were never Ring of Honor All-Stars. Anyway, somebody said that ought to be on Cornette's tombstone. Anyway, I'm still going with all in all, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. Little W.C. Fields nod there. You know where I'd rather be than Philadelphia? I'd rather be eating some of the fine fiber-filled products of Uprising. Have you heard about the people at Uprising, Brian? We talked about this last week on the program. The people at Uprising Food, their motto is our food system is fundamentally broken and it's making us sick. And the people at Uprising Foods are fixing that. No longer will our food system make us sick. It's up now to the people at Uprising Food. And
no. I don't know if you realize how you phrased that, but no, Uprising Food will not be making anyone sick.
Oh, I didn't mean that at all. No, Uprising's mission is to liberate all of us from a broken food system that's stealing our health, and they have cracked the code on healthy bread. You simply cannot find anything this healthy that you'll ever be able to put in your mouth and get down. I'm telling you right now, folks, this stuff, 2 net carbs per serving, but 6 grams of protein and 9 grams of fiber. And I'm bad with the fiber. I don't eat a lot of stuff that has fiber in it, and that promotes good gut health when you eat fiber. And that keeps you regular. And I'll tell you, the bread that the folks at Uprising have made, it's a prebiotic fiber, a patent-pending breakthrough in psyllium husk activation. It makes fantastic digestive health absurdly easy for all of us. The products are baked with real superfood ingredients, and Stacy noticed the fiber, and she's been eating the bread, and it not only makes you regular, in some cases, you're unstoppable. Uprising has absolutely nailed the taste factor on both these sourdough-esque cubes, the bread-related food byproduct that they have made here, and they've nailed that taste factor to the wall. Boy, I'll tell you what, the taste factor has been nailed, it's been impaled, it's been prodded and eviscerated. And the crunch factor on their newly launched Freedom Chips, folks, I'll tell you, they crunch and crunch and crunch. You will be chewing all day long. If a biohacker at a high-end farm market baker had a baby, it would be Uprising products.
What?
This stuff's good for you. So go to uprisingfood.com. What are you saying?
Sometimes you say things that are so crazy, I don't know if they're yours or the copies.
Well, no, I'm not saying anything crazy. I'm saying if you want fiber, if you want to be regular and evacuate your bowels to the point of complete emptiness.
That's not the copy.
That's not the copy, but I'm just telling you, this will do it for you. You'll be farting through silk and shitting your brains out. Go to Uprising Food because that's fiber in your diet. Now, your mother always used to tell you to eat your fiber, didn't she?
Protein, and there's protein. Don't forget the protein. A lot of wrestlers will listen.
Protein and fiber. Your mother never told you anything like this, folks. It's all brand new. Go to uprisingfood.com and use the code JCE to get $10 off the starter bundle. It's kind of like a mini trip to the grocery store minus all the unhealthy distractions and delicious foodstuffs, and they will ship directly to your door. That's uprisingfood.com. Use my code JCE to get $10 off your order. You're going to eat this fiber, and you're going to be healthy for it. One way or the other.
That's right. Good stuff. I have to reorder some more of the bread pretty soon.
Boy, you need to.